Well, do you think Bitcoin has topped here? Do you think Bitcoin is doing a major pullback here? Either way, if it does major pullback, what are the coins are you getting into? This is an opportunity if there is a big pullback. Look at this, right? Anyone who understands charts will know that this is a major, right, topping tail. I will say, qualify what I'm saying with, this is only one day, one topping tail. It's not that accurate. We haven't had a massive run up yet, so this topping tail may not be that big of a signal. See, for example, this is how powerful topping tails are. Here is how the bottom came in April the 7th. That is a bottoming tail, right? They call that a bottoming hammer because if you've got the long tail and the hammer there. So this is kind of what they call a topping hammer or a topping tail with a long tail, long handle, and the hammer there. Of course, it's not the best one because technically there's still some green there. And if the green gets even lower or it goes into red, that's even better. So first of all, this is the first day. Which is Tuesday, mid-afternoon US time. So we'd like to see how this candle closes in a few hours, in the next 6-7 hours. And then if it closes like 116.5 or below, then it's quite plausible that a pullback had started. If it closes up like 118 and above, say 118.5 and above, then chances are we'll get more sideways swings before we go up. So one key thing to keep in mind is this, right? These two candles of the 9th and the 10th, these two candles, big candles, green candles, are what we call thrust candles. Usually when Bitcoin makes a thrust candle, it rarely comes back, right? Here's the thing. Look at recently. This is one big thrust candle, 2, 3 thrust candles, and then doesn't come back. It just swings up and down, swings sideways, but but doesn't really come back to the thrust candles. And then 1, 2 big thrust candles, and then it consolidates upwards, right? Upwards, and doesn't really come back into the body. Here is another 1, 2 big thrust candles. And by the way, today I'm going to be talking about at least 3 major layer 1 coins. Why am I talking about layer 1 coins today? Because if you've been watching my last episode, you'd realize that right now in US Congress, they're passing an act that should get passed, I think, called the Clarity Act, which is meant to provide clarity to what is considered a security, what is considered a commodity when it comes to crypto. And so far, it seems the proposal means that if you're a layer 1, or at least if you have your own native blockchain, then basically you are a commodity, digital commodity. So, I'm going to look at 3 major layer 1s or digital commodities, right, that are native to their own blockchain. Usually it's a layer 1, but some of them is not. Doge, for example, is not. I'm going to look at least 3 of those and see how the ones that I like, that I think could have a real serious run. Okay, before we get to that, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use. Pablo uses the exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show your ID. Even the exchange can't see who you are. That means the IRS can't see you. The tax office can't see you. The FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. So I've made this deal with them only on the Pablo link, right? Deposit and trade to win up to $18,000, 20% futures bonus. Deposit $100, get 20 USDT bonus. Deposit $1,000, get 200 USDT futures bonus, right? So this is, if you're watching this on, this is limited time only, finishes on 12th of August. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on any other platform, that's okay. Just go and click, such as this one, just go and click on my profile page, and here is my Stan link. or Linktree. And it should be the first deal that comes up because this is a great deal. There it is. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. But remember, this deal is only on the Pablo Himen link, only on the Pablo link. Okay, so with Bitcoin, so it's we're looking at these two thrust candles, and usually the correction, if this is a real breakout, usually the pullback shouldn't go below 115-ish. You know, I would say high 114 at best, right? And then up we go. If we look at these, for example, it barely pulls back into the body of the thrust candles. If it does pull back further, then this 110 area, 110.5, right? That's the must defend area. We really don't want Bitcoin to fake out and then come back in. That would be terrible. A lot of altcoins going to dump really hard. So either jump off 115 or at the minimum bounce off 110.5. Now, just quickly, if we look at the shorter charts, smaller time frames, I said to folks in my Discord that this 116-ish area, 116.5-ish area is where the bounce could happen. We got a quick bounce up to 118.4, but then quickly came back down. So we're still trying to play around this area. Yeah. Okay, so that's about what I'll say about Bitcoin for now. Let's have a look at some of the layer ones that could benefit from the Clarity Act that's been passed in Congress right now. First one is Dogecoin, as I've been saying. So even though Dogecoin is not a layer one, it kind of is a layer one, but it qualifies as a commodity, not a security, because it has its own native chain. Doge is mined, just like Bitcoin is. In fact, it uses the same code as Bitcoin. It's basically they just change the inflation numbers and some other small parameters. So Doge, for folks who have been following me on Doge, this it's bounced off. It's bounced off this trend line quite well here. So we can see that this was the trend line that I drew back in 2024, and I extended it here, expecting some sort of bounce off here, and that's indeed what we got. This bounce made a lot of sense because you had the blue line here as well, right? The blue line at 14 cents. So essentially, that's what they call a confluence in trading, in charting, because you have the red the trend line, and you also have the blue one, which is the support. Yeah, so you have the blue line here as well at 14 cents, right? Plus the red rising trend line. So we had a bounce off there. So that was a very good area for Dogecoin to bounce off, and that's where it bounced off indeed. So here we can see that Doge is actually one of those coins that would benefit from the Clarity Act, which is to be passed right now. Even though we don't think of it as a layer one, it actually pretty much is a layer one. Here, 23 cents. That's big resistance, as we can see, where I think Doge can target next. This run up here, a lot of it was because of Elon Musk started the whole Doge thing. Went to 50 cents. Right now, I think because of the Clarity Act, a lot of the ETFs on Wall Street are going to be full of layer ones. And Doge is actually one of those layer ones, as I just explained. So therefore, Doge, Solana, BNB, a lot of those coins could actually end up in the upcoming Wall Street ETFs. So the reasonable target is here, 27 cents. I I actually think Doge can make a comeback because, when Bitcoin makes a big run, usually Doge makes a big run. Like, Bitcoin, bottomed here and took off. ETH, Doge bottomed a year later, but it had a similar run up. Much was this? 5 cents to 50 cents. So like a 9x run here. 9x run here. So that's pretty good. We're probably due for another wave up, right? This is still rising highs and higher highs and higher lows. So Doge, getting to 50 cents is really possible. I would think the minimum target would be around 28 cents here. Okay, what's another coin that would benefit from this Clarity Act? And that is, of course, KTA, as I've been telling you guys, the new layer 1 on the block. No pun intended, or pun intended, the new layer 1 blockchain on the block. So this is the chain that's heavily backed by former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, quite a celebrity in the technology circles, and it's had a tremendous run. I was talking about it around this 40 cents area. It eventually went to $1.70, pulled back. I've been trying to dollar cost averaging in around here, thinking it might bounce off this big trend line, right? It didn't, broke through. So now that Bitcoin is up and we've got the Clarity Act, KTA should be a good one to DCA more into, because right now there are Trump calls this week Crypto Week, and that's because there are 3 legislations that's up for our vote in the Congress. 1 is the Clarity Act and 2 is the Genius Act. Genius Act is all about stable currencies, stable coins. Where do you want to deploy your stable coins? If you deploy it on ETH, it's too slow. Like, remember, ETH's got some pretty high gas fees once it gets congested. But also ETH is just not fast enough, nowhere near fast enough. Now this KTA is actually a lot faster than even Solana, because I saw them live when they did the whole test with Google, with a team from Google actually verifying their results. And so here we broke through here. The support, it came all the way down to 46 cents. Wow, exactly down to this 0.0236 on the Fibonacci. Let's see if we can draw a bigger Fibonacci line and see where this goes. Okay, here and here. Kind of similar. So 46. That was kind of you would think 0.382 is usually where, and it coincides with this line as well. Okay, so it is where the support would be, but it came all the way down here to 46 cents. Now, that's a nice double bottom, right? Because we've had this previous low around 60 cents. So here's 47, 54, rising. We've got higher high, higher low. Higher low, higher high. Probably needs another higher low. Turn up somewhere around like 65 cents. Turn up and can have a big run, because it's one of the big engines for crypto market right now is the Genius Act, which is all about stable coins. And if you're going to deploy a stable coin, as I was saying, you don't want to deploy it on Ethereum. It's way too slow, but you have it on Ethereum anyway, because it's the largest chain that everybody knows. But if you wanted to actually run it, make millions of transactions per hour, you need it on a super fast chain, and KTA is the fastest of them all. In fact, they advertise themselves as the chain for international payments, for payment transfers, kind of a competitor to XRP. I've spoken about all this before, so probably pull back to 65, higher high, higher low, and if Bitcoin keeps on going up, which I think it will in the next couple of months, get to like mid 100s, 140 to 165k ish area, then KTA should have another big run, another big leg up. Another one to keep in mind, another payments stablecoin related layer one. Okay, another one is SE, not SUI, but SE, SEI. The thing about SE is that basically it is actually a coin that has Circle as one of the main investors. You know, USDC, you have USDT, which is Tether, and you have the USDC, which is Circle. Circle is one of the main investors. And the thing about Circle is that right now it's a Wall Street darling. It's gone up 10x. Can you believe it? 10x upon its IPO launch on Wall Street. And basically, you know, all of these, because Tether is not as legit. It basically doesn't even show us what coins it holds, right? Tether doesn't even show what coins it holds. So therefore, Wall Street doesn't trust Tether. USDC or Circle complies with all of the regulations. And of course, so people think Circle can take over the world. And Circle made a major investment 2 years back in SE, because SEI was the fastest blockchain in the world, but that is before what's it called? KTA came along. KTA I just showed you guys, and so KTA is now the fastest chain in the world. But before that, SE was the fastest. So of course, when you are doing lots of transfers and payments on stable coins, you want the fastest chain in the world. And SE, you know, still the second fastest or fast enough. So basically, that's why they've been Circle became a major investor in SE. But people who are crypto natives used to believe in USDT and not in Circle. But the thing to keep in mind is, it doesn't matter what we crypto natives like or not. The key is, what does Wall Street like? Wall Street likes Circle because it complies with regulations much more than Tether, and because Circle is now a Nasdaq listed, you know, stock, which Tether could pretty much never become because it doesn't comply with, you know, some basic regulations. You can't even see what Tether is holding. You know exactly where Circle puts their money, in banks, in US Treasury bonds, whatever. Tether just says, trust me, bro, I've got you. So that's the key difference. So here, thinking SE could run to something like here. So first layer of resistance around this 50, and then second around this 58 area. 58 cents. But I like SE a lot. That's why I'm highlighting it as one of the coins to watch, one of the 3 coins to watch. And there are others as well. Let me know in the comments which ones you like me to talk about, and maybe I can do it for the next episode. Okay, catch you guys.